Good morning to you, Kolosa. Good morning to the viewers of SABC.
Yeah, Peter, we do understand that Minister Kodongwana had tabled the medium-term budget amid growing public frustration. I mean, we have load shedding, we have unemployment. What is your stance as the EFF on the upcoming medium-term budget?
You're correct, Kolosa. You just forgot to say also amid a struggling economy.
Yeah.
So if you look at their projections of last year, 2024, they projected a economic growth of 1.3%, but they only achieved 0.6%. And we warned them that your projections are unrealistic. In this first quarter of 2025, they only achieved 0.1% of growth. Quarter two, they achieved 0.8% of the growth. So you're likely not to have the economy growing beyond just 1% overall at the end of the financial year. Now, these are the things that we want the minister to say. The austerity budget will not take you anywhere. We've seen the stagnation of the economy for the very longest time. And the GNU, they came here adamant that they're going to grow the economy amongst other things, but the reality is that it is not growing. And what is more painful, Kolosa, is that it is our people that are feeling the brunt of this stagnant economy. If you look at quarter one alone, over 230,000 jobs were lost. Quarter two, over 130 jobs were lost. Now, adding up to close to 8.9 million people who are unemployed. And if we continue with this underperformance of the economy, nothing will change. If anything, it will actually go worse. Of course, they're going to be celebrating and irritating us about the coming off from the grey listing. But what does that mean to you, a human being who's at Matatiele today, who's in Malamolele in Limpopo, who's at Pitsidisuleyang in the Northwest? For as long as we wake up in the morning and sleep at night with no hope of ever getting a job, it means absolutely nothing. So the minister has to change the fiscal policy direction of this country. And by the way, it is his strategic objective to find and table a sound fiscal policy that will see the economy growing and improve the social development in this country. It is his strategic objective, by the way, that says he must support infrastructure development that will see municipal infrastructure being built, being repaired. I mean, the water infrastructure in the country, the sewage infrastructure in the country has collapsed. The roads have collapsed. Municipality can't overservice. What is happening, Kolosa, at the moment is that the state is privatizing everything. And we warned them that privatizing the state-owned entities is to prioritize the private profit over public service. We're going to have a government that is unable to offer basic services to its people. And it will be very bad and for the poor in the most and the working class.
Yeah. Mpilo, you speak about job losses, and I mean, the minister says the cuts are part of a fiscal discipline to control debt. Why, as the EFF, do you reject this reasoning? And what are the main priorities that you believe that the budget must deliver on, especially for the working class and the poorest households? Like you have mentioned that, I mean, there is going to be job losses.
Yeah, there's going to continue to be job losses because, as I said, there's what we call Operation Vulindlela. Operation Vulindlela is not Vulindleling for the poor. It's opening the doors for the rich to get even more richer. It's a privatization scheme that seeks to privatize everything. Now, Kolosa, as we are as a country at the moment, we are a consuming country. We are consumers. We are not producers of goods. So we buy finished goods from other nations and we consume those finished goods. But we've got mineral resources, we've got the land, we've got abundance of agricultural land. We can manufacture in this country and have final goods being sold out to the nations out there. We are just not doing it. Why? Because there's no political will for the government to transform the economy at the moment. So for as long as you don't produce anything, you are a consumer, you will not grow the economy. We need money to be redirected to infrastructure projects. If at all the minister says there is no money at all, we've got PIC, we've got Public Investment Corporation that holds our public assets. Why are we not tapping into that and build infrastructure for the country that will see men and women waking up in the morning to go to work. At least let's have our people participating in this economy for you to grow the economy. But you won't grow the economy if you want to contain the debt. So you borrow money to pay debt, and we've warned against that. Borrow money, channel that money into revenue generating projects that will see men and women working and producing goods, and you sell. With that profit, that's where you service your debt. But you can't borrow money to service your debt. You're just not doing anything. And we've warned the minister against that. So for as long as the minister is pursuing new liberal policies, we will not see any growth. And by the way, science is there. Evidence is there. The economy has not grown, at least not more than 2% for the past decade. So why continue on the same policies that are not making you to grow the economy? You have failed in your strategic objective as a minister. If we were a self-respecting and loving country, we should be calling for him to resign, because in the 4 strategic objectives that he ought to achieve, he has achieved none.
Yeah, and it's actually quite sad, Mpile, with what you're saying, that, I mean, Africa is so rich with minerals, but, I mean, it's the poorest. I mean, we are beggars, we are consumers of other countries. And, I mean, you've also criticized the 6.2 billion cut to provincial conditional grants and also the 3.4 billion to municipalities, including funds that are meant for infrastructure and also poverty relief. I mean, what mechanisms will the EFF watch for to ensure that the budget's commitment are actually implemented, not just promises on a paper?
We continue to fight. It's unfortunate that the minister, the party that the minister belongs to, chose to go into partnership, into bed with the new liberals. And you can't expect anything out of there. I mean, earlier on, I listened to the DA saying the minister must cut spending. That's exactly what we're saying. Austerity measures. They have not taken us anywhere. So we will continue to speak. We'll continue to fight in the portfolio committee, but it can go as far as that. But what the message we can put to our people is that that's the government that you have chosen. You've chosen this path. These people do not love you. They love the partners. They love the new liberals. They love the international bondholders more than the people of South Africa, because that's what they are prioritizing. They are not prioritizing anything. I mean, look at the IMF. IMF simply says the economy is going to grow, but their basis is on privatization of the energy sector and the logistics sector. Those are the people that are pushing for the state to be ripped off of its little.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us and weighing in, on this very important discussion. We look forward to what Minister Godongwana is actually going to table on this budget.